everything's rooted in your belief, because you can do it until if you believe that, and then you take those steps consistently, because you're like, okay, I believe that this is how I'm made, and this is how I'm supposed to be fueled, and this is how I'm supposed to move. So I will do this until, because I'm honoring that, and I believe that at some point it will kick in.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before. It takes years to get off track. So why do we expect it to happen overnight?
Hey ladies, welcome to the She's Rooted podcast.
We're about to get real unscripted.
So pull up a chair. Let's get to the root of it. What is up, Ms. Mo?
Hello.
How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Amazing. I have some excitement I want to share today. I had a really good thought for today's podcast that we were just jamming out, and I'm excited to bring it right to these girls that are press and play today. I know we've been chatting a lot about removing some things off of our table, naming our vices, and really just grabbing a hold of that change that we know we are capable of creating for ourselves. And I thought that I would talk today and bring this little light bulb into the room about the whole number on the scale never tells us the whole story. So as we start walking through making those changes in our life, and let's say they are in the health goal arena, I wanted to talk about this early on because that scale can hold us back because we give it all of the credit for everything that we're doing. And as women, sometimes we do not give ourselves the credit for all the non-scale victories. So I think naming this as not allowing the scale to become a vice in our journey is something that would be really great to just kind of talk through, because I know for so many years, I gave all of my credit to that dang scale, and when it wasn't moving, it defeated me. Wasn't paying attention to energy getting better or my bloat going away. In my head, I didn't care about that. I wanted to lose the weight. And I love now where I'm at in my passion and in my journey of where I have, crossed over from chasing my own goals, went to school, and now I'm coaching people for decades. I love breaking the word weight, because it's not the weight that we want to lose. It is there's two sides of it, body fat and muscle. And we need to prioritize and protect that muscle. And we need to focus on body fat either going down if we don't need it on our body. And for some people, body fat needs to go up. So I don't know. I thought we talk about the whole number on the scale does not tell us the whole story, but creating that in a mindset of don't allow it to hold you back from what's ahead. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more about your journey and kind of how you got around that.
Yeah.
Because when I was, obsessive over a scale, mine broke rather quickly when I first realized, wait a second, I was, 15 pounds lighter and 2 pant sizes bigger. And I step on the scale and I'm 15 pounds heavier and I'm down 2 pant sizes. And I'm like, how does that work?
Right.
But that was focusing on macros and training. And I think when I learned that, I was like, well, this is silly. The scale is really kind of meaningless. I actually don't even step on a scale anymore. I have stepped on a scale just to do our 90 days challenge, just to kind of track. But other than that, unless I'm going to the doctor's office, I don't step on a scale. I am not a scale girl. I haven't been for 20 years.
I've yet to meet someone who's like, I love the scale. I love weighing in. That's a girl. I don't think she exists.
My husband gets on the scale more than I do. He'll use it. I don't. I just don't. I think I let it go a long time ago. And really just focused on how my clothes felt, how my energy was. I really did make the shift to honoring my body more as like a machine than just a number on a scale. And that
Yeah.
mindset shift for me really has given me freedom, where I just wake up more and I'm like, okay, I want to, I'm healthy today. I have the day, so I want to move and I want to honor my body. I want to fuel it well. I want to live well. I want to move. And I think that probably part of that journey for me was becoming a mother.
Right.
And then also, all my training as well. I definitely remember when I started for training for competitions when I was way younger, and just realizing like going from cheerleading where it was like your waist is being measured in inches and your weight matters and your uniform has to fit a certain way, to training for competitions and being like the scale is going to go up but your inches are going to go down, was like
Yeah.
such a freeing time for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think taking the mindset around when we're looking at bettering our life and bettering our health and we're focused on that, and let's say we want to lose weight. I was in that category of I needed to lose weight. I wanted to lose weight. I was over 200 pounds back in the day. And I just was at a place where like I would have done anything to get that weight off my body like yesterday. Um, and a lot of times all of these diets and all these things that we show up for that are crazy restrictive, we are just excited to see the number go down on the scale, where we don't realize the harm that we're doing to our
Mm,
health because we're losing the wrong side. A
yes.
lot of those restrictive diets and all these crazy things that people tell you that you should do in order to lose the weight, that can actually harm your health by lowering your metabolism. It is breaking the weight of the muscle down because your body's very smart. It's a machine. And if you're not giving it what it needs, it's going to get what it needs and it's going to pull from your muscle.
Yeah.
So if we are looking at just losing weight, we need to stop right there and say, no, the weight that I have on my body, what I need to focus on is body fat and I need to focus on muscle. And if you are sacrificing your muscle for the win of the scale, you are going to lose every single time. That is why the yo-yo is a thing. And if you've ever done a diet where you've lost the weight pretty quickly, like a lot of those like low carb, no carb, keto type diets,
Hmm.
that I did back in the day, I would lose a lot of weight and then I would gain everything back because you can't hang on to that ball forever. And I would gain even more back. So every time I had that like ounce of motivation to go chase after my goals yet again, I kept making it that much harder for myself, not realizing that I was lowering my metabolism every time I showed up for the side of restriction, the side of like crazy like exercise programs, like doing so much just for that win of the scale. And if you take an honest look back, if you've ever done any of those diets, like ask yourself, did you feel amazing when you were doing it? Hell the hell you didn't. Like I know you didn't. Like it just you're in a bad mood when you can't like when you have all this pressure on your shoulders. Um but one thing that I love talking to those that we have the honor to be in the trenches with as they are starting to chase after their own health and their own goals and mapping things out in simplicity is if somebody wants to lose weight, like we need to talk about why. And like not just losing the weight, but what does the picture of that look like for you? We talked about the last time, like,
Hmm.
this is what I want to reach, rack, and maintain the rest of my happy, healthy life. No restrictions, no frustrations. Snap your fingers. You're on the mountaintop of your best life, best health. What does that look like?
Hmm.
And you name that. And we have to name it in a way to where it is not giving all of the credit to the weight. And I will tell you, I have yet to have a conversation when you are literally talking through this with people. When they're standing on that mountaintop of their best life, best health, and they are telling me what their life looks like, no one has ever like said right out of their mouth, it looks like 120 pounds. They're talking about I have the
Right.
energy to play with my kids. I feel confident and sexy on date night. Hell, I look
Mhm.
good naked. Like I've heard all of these things.
Mhm.
My bloat's gone away. I don't have aches and pains in my joints. Like I am actually prioritizing the gym. I'm showing up and working out and I'm getting stronger. I'm building muscle. I'm losing fat. Like it's never a number on a scale. So we can't give all the credit to the number on the scale when that isn't really what you're fighting for. What you're fighting for is all of the non-scale victories. And I'll tell you, losing 70 pounds myself, that's not my biggest transformation. Like there is so much more beyond a before and after.
Right.
And when we just have a mindset of focusing on a scale, you are going to be missing out on all of
Right.
the non-scale victories that hold a bigger weight in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that quote that comes to my mind instantly, which is it's not the destination, it's who you become along the way or something like that, right? Like it's not,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know the
The
actual,
pursuit, something about the pursuit of who you. Oh, well, I'll get it.
yeah,
It's tip of my tongue. I know what you're talking about.
but that's what I think about is that, you're chasing after this thing, or like you said, you're giving all this weight to a number on a scale, but it's really not about that.
Right.
It's about so much more. And yeah, when you can also notice and celebrate those little victories and wins along the way,
Yeah.
the journey so much better, you know?
Yeah. I had a conversation with someone, man, probably like 3 years ago, and I didn't even realize that, like, when you say non-scale victories, they had no idea what I was talking about.
Hmm.
And there's someone that is like in the lane of coaching people in a health journey.
Hmm.
So like that was mind-boggling to me that they're like, what are you talking about? What do you mean non-scale victories? So I always want to be mindful, not because I always thought everyone knows what I'm talking about, you know.
Right.
But when you're looking at non-scale victories, I think like taking a step back and no matter what you're looking for in your life and your health, you need to name all of them.
Right.
And then when you achieve them, you got to never forget where you were. Because if you forget where you were, you're going to get fresh like that. Have I ever talked about like the three line I think it was a three-line sermon that I listened. I think it was from Stephen Furtick or however you say his last name. I'm not really sure. Have I ever talked to you about
I,
this?
yeah, I think we've talked about it on a podcast before, but you can go ahead because it was a long time ago.
So if you take a piece of paper and you draw yourself three lines, you're going to put one on the very bottom. You're going to put one pretty close, or I'm so sorry, one on the bottom. Okay. You're going to put one like in like above the middle. And then you're going to put one like super close to that one in the middle. And the line on the bottom is where you were. Like that's where your journey was. And sometimes that's right now because my line in the sand just started. So that's where you were. And then where you are, right? That's where you're at right now in life. So I'm totally butchering this because I'm using my hand. Let me get a piece of paper. This makes no sense. We need to see lines. Okay, if you are listening to me, you're like, girl, I can't even see anything because all I hear is your voice. So you are crazy. Um, Here we go. So we have three lines. Okay. So this is where you were, this is where you are, and this is where you want to go. And a lot of times people get frustrated from where they are to where they want to go. So people call this the frustration gap, right? But from where you were to where you are, there's a lot of great things that happen in there. And we need to never forget that. This needs to be the gratitude gap. Like, I'm grateful that I have the energy to show up for my kids. I'm grateful that I am not tugging at my shirt and I am not present on date nights with my husband anymore. And I am grateful that I can walk in with confidence and just fully focus on that and not worry about like if I look fat in my outfit. There's so many things that I'm grateful that I have worked through that I have to write these things in my gratitude gap, right? So with that being said, from where you are to where you want to go, instead of getting frustrated, man, it took work from here to here. Like That's gratitude gap. But you know what it was before? It was your growth gap. So we need to have this be like, okay, well, instead of being frustrated, let's use the frustration as the fuel to get me where I want to go. What do I have to do now? So, like, that should be your growth gap. So I say all that to just say, like, there are other things in our life that we need to give credit to where credit is due and where credit is needed and what we want. And that is not always going to be found on a number on a scale.
Yeah. So give the people the non-scale victories to look for.
Well, I think it's very personal. Okay. So, like, I do think that there are some things, like, for me, like, I wanted to feel confident when I went on a date with my husband. I wanted to wear a pair of, like, back in the day, the tall boots were super popular. My calves are so big I couldn't get them on. So I wanted to be able to wear sexy boots. So that was like that's this non-scale victory, right? I wanted to do that. I wanted to not have endless cups of coffee to go caffeine to crash to caffeine to crash because that's not a normal I wanted to live. So I wanted to have natural energy throughout the day that wasn't manufactured, that didn't make me feel good. I wanted to be able to not be moody with my kids if I didn't feel good because I was irritable, I had no energy, like I was tired, I was bloated. Like I wanted these things to be removed off of the things that held me back. So, like, that was a big thing for me. I wanted to be someone that left a room better than I found it. And if I wasn't in my own room, like speaking well to myself, then how the heck can I ever do that in a way that I want it to do? So I wanted to grow through that. I needed to change a self-negative script from myself. So I needed to pour into my mindset and undo a lot of the negative things that I said. So like that was a huge non-scale victory for myself, but that took time, that took showing up in different conversations, that took different books and growth and YouTube motivational videos and like really being proactive on trying to change that because I lived that mindset for way too long. So that was important to me. Um, Having a clean environment, and not to say that I don't have a clean environment, but I'm not someone who loves like scrub a dub dub in the house. I like a clean house, but like I can also feel like I could thrive in a little bit of controlled
Yeah.
chaos too.
Yeah.
But like having a routine around that was always important to me so that I felt like I had structure in my day. So I guess structure would be a
Yeah.
better one because when you're a stay-at-home mom, like I was at the time, and now, I was worked in corporate America, and now I work for myself, so I work from home. So with that, like when you have all day to do all the things, like man, it stretches to your whole day, and then sometimes you get nothing done.
Mm-hmm.
So like having a routine was important to me. Um, Bloat, I think I mentioned that one. Energy, obviously. My belt, my pant size, I know that obviously can correlate with weight, but like feeling good in a pair of jeans, like I think there's a country song about that, about putting on a pair of jeans that just fit just right, like when you feel good in a pair of jeans, like that is a great feeling to have. Being happy was huge for me because like I could be happy for my kids, I could be happy for my husband and do all that. But like if you have a constant self-sabotaging negative script against yourself, like you can't live life in the way that you want because you have something holding you back. And I remember you talking a long time ago about like picturing yourself walking up these stairs and you're carrying all this luggage and this baggage, and it's like just put the damn bag down. That's not serving you, that you don't need to pack with you. So I think that, I mean, you could run on that one, like putting things that are taking things out of your backpack, taking things out of your luggage, like that is
I
such a relief.
I just had to do that. I just did that. I haven't posted it yet, but it'll be my last social media post for a little bit because
Yeah.
social media has just been that. It's been a baggage that I've just been carrying for too long. And it's an interesting thing when you look at, I know we're talking non-scale victories, but when you look at that and you ask yourself, like, why am I carrying this? Like, what belief do I have around this?
Right.
And when I started doing that with social media, everything came back to, business essentially, right? Like, well, if I'm not on social media, my business won't grow. And if I'm not on social media, then how will I connect with people? I'm not on social media. And then you have to look at the other facts and go, well, okay, you've been on social media for 20 years. How much of your business is actually coming from there? Like, you look at some of the other stuff, and then I had asked myself the question that my grandma always says, like, okay, well, you're feeling this pull for a reason. Like, what's the worst that happens? The worst thing that happens is my business completely bails out and I have to like get back on social media. Can you handle that? I can handle that. Like, if you can handle it, move forward, And I think when you look at those situations where, based off our last podcast, vices, and talking about, non-scale victories now, like, if you can look at things from that, like, that higher view, right? And take yourself out of the situation and like take that bird's eye view of your situation. It really helps. It really helps. And then you can set those bags down and you can put those fears away and you can pack up the stuff that isn't serving you anymore and you can move forward confidently. And you can't get to the other side of something. What is the other quote? It's what got you here won't get you there, right? Like, what you've done so far has gotten you where you are. If you don't like where you are, like, gotta do something different, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I actually love that you brought up social media and where you're at in the now of it and like needing to set that baggage down for a second because it's you're the whole number on the scale, it doesn't tell the whole story and the things that like non-scale victories. Mo, when you're looking at things that are adding stressors into your life and it's not serving you and it's not bringing a light to your life and it is doing more harm in the day than good. And not to say that that's what's happening with your social media or anything like that, but what I'm saying is if you have become a noticer of where you're at in the now and what you want to do and what is getting in the way and all of these outside things that are trying to tell like we need to do it this way, we have to do this way. And it's like if it's not bringing you happiness, if it's not lifting you up, like and being able to remove that, that is removing something so that we can have a non-scale victory because if we are not happy with what that lane is providing in our life, well, it like for every no that we have, it is going to open up a brand new yes that is good for us in the lane that we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? So I love that you brought that up. I think that is super valid. And I think that there are things that we allow that hold us back from blossoming into something bigger, something more, something that is going to feel good. And I think that when you have these tugs at your heart, I think it's important to listen to them.
Yeah.
You have them for a reason.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, there's no hell maybes in life. Like it's either hell yes or hell no. And we can be like, the Friends episode where we need to pivot. Like, and I think we talked before about how if you make a decision to show up and do something or show up in it and make a change, you have to give that change the honor that it deserves and like, am I fully showing up for those things before you make a decision that it's not working for you?
Right.
But when you look at that, if you have walked through all of the things and it's not working for you,
Right.
it is okay to make a different change. Like it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
But don't jump too quick.
Yeah.
And I think that people that jump too quick, I think that they definitely don't look at all of the good that has come from something.
Yeah.
Because when you are so soul focused on a bigger, like the bigger elephant in the room, and that's all you're looking at, you don't see everything else around it.
Right. No, it's huge. You got to look at all of it. And that was something, I think that's why it's taken me so long to actually like take that step away from social media, because there is a lot of good. There's a ton of good. And, I love seeing all my friends' things, and I love, celebrating, birthdays and anniversaries and like all of that good that you do see. And you have to take into account all of it. You have to weigh all of the pieces, if you will, in whatever decision you're making, you know. But for me, I think that's what took me so long, was like where you're like, but, and you know, you're tied to like the feeling and the pull, like to get off, but then you have to pause and go, okay, is this just like a feeling because of a one-off thing, or is this like a legit like thing?
Yeah.
And is this legitimately keeping me from something greater? And, you know, you can still say there's a lot of great there, but yes, I do think that this is holding me back from something greater. And then you take the step. And you know what's great about life is today is a day, and tomorrow, if I'm given it, will be a new day. And I think the bigger struggle is not giving yourself that room to say, like, I can make this decision now, and if necessary, I can pivot, you know?
Right.
And I think that in fitness journeys, especially, you're going to do a lot of pivoting. You're going to have to figure out workouts that work for you, ways that you move your body that's going to work for you, because you're going to see a million different ways, especially nowadays, to move your body and do the things. And everybody's got the perfect fitness program, blah, blah, blah. And you have to give yourself enough time with a program, but also you have to give yourself room to flex and to adapt and to change and modify, so that it does work for you. And same thing, you know, with nutrition. That's why I love the way that we coach and the way that we do things, because it's, you know, foundational for what our cells actually need. But then there's so much flex and flexibility and unique individuality in people's meal plans as well. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, all of that plays into those non-scale victories, because you can find the non-scale victory of happiness and joy and time freedom and, you know, less stress and more energy and more productivity and all of that. I mean, we got a girl right now, she's like, what, 10 days in, we're going to talk to her later. She's blowing me up every day. She's like, I'm more productive. I'm getting so much done. I have so much energy and blah, blah, blah. And it was just changing what she was doing for breakfast, and how quickly that transforms everything. And those are all non-scale victories. She's out of her mind excited as a busy mom with all of these non-scale victories, and it's beautiful. You know why it's beautiful? Because she's going to maintain, she's going to stay even more consistent, because we're celebrating those non-scale victories, and now those other victories will come, you know?
Right. Yeah. And a lot of times the non-scale victories come well before the big like before and after on a photo or a scale. Um, but it's like you got to have those people in your life to remind you of
Yeah,
all this excitement in the beginning stages of making a change.
yeah.
And she's not only busy mom, like she's full-time
I know, she's a
work,
doctor,
yes,
but yeah,
she's incredible.
yeah, she is.
And the important part about this whole thing is now she's starting to feel incredible with just simple changes. So I think looking at like what are the roots of importance to each person, that you got to name that.
Yeah,
Like you know what you're struggling with, and it's not just a number on a scale. So name your struggles, and when you start paying attention, like your body's gonna tell you, like just pay attention to it, listen to it. Like, man, I'm starting to feel a little bit more energy. Oh my gosh, like I think I slept better last night. I felt more rested. I didn't need to have that second cup of coffee in the afternoon. Like these are all huge wins, and it's all the small wins in our life that are going to create that bigger win. So as we stay consistent with showing up for all of those small choices that we're making, and we're noticing all those small wins in our life, and like that's what's going to create that bigger picture later on.
yeah.
So it's
I
all
think
about
a lot of people are like into tracking things these days too. And I think that one of the things, if it's overwhelming or you don't want to spend hours tracking things, because people are tracking their water, their steps, everything. But if you were to just take that moment to, you know, tonight before you go to bed and just put a little book on your nightstand. And if you are on that journey, that you just write one sentence about how you're feeling in the day. You know, I've noticed this more energy. And you start to just track it, and it's kind of like a little mini gratitude slash tracker of just where you're at, you know, and you know the changes that you've made or haven't made, and you
right.
be able to see that.
Oh, I love that. It's really hard to be frustrated when you're in a gratitude state too.
For sure.
Like what if Mo, what if you did like had that one liner every night and you gave yourself like on your day 31, you looked back and you read all 30 lines for
Yeah,
the month that you had. And it's just like, it will reroute you for like, hell yeah, this is why I'm doing this.
right.
This is why I'm showing up. And
Yeah,
I'm going to do it until, like, if you are looking for a bigger number on a scale to drop, like, well, like, I'm going to do it until.
yeah. I
And
think, and
I
that goes back to
love that.
being rooted in your belief, right? If you
Yep.
actually believe that our bodies are incredible, that they are beautiful machines that are designed to function optimally and to be healthy and to heal themselves and to do all of that, if you believe that, and you also believe that whole foods are the best way, and you believe that we are created to move, when you everything's rooted in your belief, because you can do it until if you believe that, and then you take those steps consistently because you're like, okay, I believe that this is how I'm made, and this is how I'm supposed to be fueled, and this is how I'm supposed to move. So I will do this until, because I'm honoring that, and I believe that at some point it will kick in. You know,
Yeah.
we've talked about it before. It takes years to get off track. So why do we expect it to happen overnight?
Because we're women. We want it yesterday.
Right.
But yeah, so very true. No,
Yeah.
I love that. And I think too, knowing what you're saying no to is also very important. Because if you know what you're doing is good for you, and you know what it is doing inside of your body, if you know that it is driving your inflammation down by 68% in 8 weeks, and you know that your cells are being able to get the nutrients into your cells 50% better, and waste is getting out 50% better, and if you know that it's boosting your immune system by 37% in just 20 days, and if you know that you're getting all the vitamins and minerals that you need in your body, and you know that you're drinking a protein shake that is giving you all 22 amino acids, and it's literally the building blocks to all things life, from building out your digestive enzymes to building out that immune system to preserving that lean muscle to burning fat to it's proven to help with weight loss. It's proven to help with your glycemic control response technology, which is a fancy verbiage for it. It's not going to spike your blood sugar. Like if you know that you're doing all of these things and this is what it's proven to do in your human body, it is going to be so hard to say, I don't need that. I don't want that. Like when you know that the good it's doing and you know it's the only thing that can do what it says that it's going to do, and then you're in control of doing everything else, like that's your foundation. I do believe that when you find something that is working for you, you need to know why it's working for you so that when you get in that moment of frustration, the scale's not moving fast enough, you need to be able to look at that and then say, oh, I don't need it. It's a lot harder when you know what it's doing for you to say, I don't need it.
Right.
And it's a lot harder when you don't pay attention to all the non-scale victories to say, I don't need that.
Right.
Because we're not looking at it with a full, clear view. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
That has been super helpful for me. Like I know why I do what I do for my health. I know why I eat the way that I do. I know why I give myself an 80/20 lifestyle. Like I know why I do the things. I know why I only work out 3 times a week, like non-negotiable, because I know where my mindset was in my past when I tried to do all the things all the time. And it just did not, it did not help me. It made it
Right.
worse. So you have to know what you're saying no to, and you have to know what you continue to say yes to.
I
So,
love that. That actually makes me think, and it would probably be a whole nother podcast, but when you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to something else.
ooh,
And that like that makes me think of that too. You know,
that's so good.
I know. And there's only certain people in my world that like especially when it comes to food, like I'm not one that's just like, oh, I'm so, somebody made cake, like have to eat it because they made it.
Yeah.
There's only like two people in my world that I would actually do that for. Like,
Love it.
literally where I could, because if I just say yes to you because you did this and I like feel obligated, because I know that's a real thing. Like people are like,
Yeah.
oh, they put out cookies, I have to eat them, or oh, they brought brownies, I have to eat them. Like, no, you don't. When you say
Right.
yes to that for that person, you're saying no to yourself. You're saying no to
Ooh,
your own goals. You're saying no to your own future. And so for me, that's a hard stop no, unless it's my grandma.
I love it. Yeah. Yep. No, that's so good. Yes, let's put a pin in that. I think, oh man, we could go on
Yeah.
a whole great combo with that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I think I'm good with this
This
one.
is great.
I loved it. I
Thank
think it's really great. Girls, like, stop giving all that credit to the scale.
Yeah.
It ain't telling your whole story,
No.
but you got to. You get to. So, I don't know. Any last words?
No, that's it. It's good.
Mike dropped it out. All right, girls. Well, we will see you on the next episode. Until then, stay
We
rooted.
hope that landed.
Bye.
If it did, drop a comment, share it up, and you know what? We'll see you next week. Until then, stay rooted, sister.